Quinnen Williams may have had one of the greatest debuts I've seen on tape. The guy was straight up dominant against the Las Vegas Raiders. Today we're going to break down the tape. We're going to get into some of what we saw from this guy. He was basically unblockable out there. You have plays like this where he ends up getting a sack on the quarterback. He had over 7 total pressures. He had so many winning snaps on tape. The guy was literally unblockable. And I'm not surprised that Quinnen Williams had the success that he had. First and foremost, the Raiders' offensive line is straight garbage. On top of that, Quinnen Williams is one of the top 5 best defensive tackles in the NFL. And you see him just straight use power against Will Putnam, the center of the Las Vegas Raiders. Look at him just go right through this guy. Does a great job with the fork. Will Putnam's not able to stop him, and you see him kind of walk him back right into the quarterback's lap. Now watch the left arm here of the defensive tackle. And look at how he's going to fork right here with the left arm, the right arm of the center, right there to remove that leverage. And then he's going to just kind of walk this guy back, toss him to the side. And Kenny Clark does a really nice job on the right guard as well. Kenny Clark's going to just straight swipe the right guard, Jordan Meredith. Between Kenny Clark, Osa Odighizuwa, and of course Quinnen Williams, this is arguably the best defensive tackle room in the entire NFL. There's literally no one defensive tackle you can single block between Quinnen, Kenny Clark, and also Odighizuwa. And the fact they have 3 of these guys, and you have guys like Houston and Clowney and Donovan Ezraku starting to look good as well. To me, this is going to be a very, very disruptive defensive line as we kind of go forward. Here's another play in which Quinnen Williams is going to get almost instant pressure. The Raiders are going to fake the pitch to the outside. They're going to pull their left guard. Quinnen Williams just ends up beating the center to the quarterback. Now, watching this play from the all-22 angle, keep an eye on the route concepts developing downfield. The Raiders obviously have a play in which it's designed to go downfield. They're trying to get the ball, 15, 20 yards downfield. They're trying to score a touchdown on this one. And the fact that Quinnen Williams wins as quickly as he does, you don't have the time to make those reads downfield. You have to check it down. And this is the greatness of having good defensive tackles. If you're able to generate the pressure as quickly as the Cowboys did last night, as a quarterback, you don't have the ability to read downfield. So as a quarterback, as soon as you set up and you start looking downfield and you're looking to make your reads potentially, well, in your vision comes this defensive tackle who's beating your guard or your center. And then with that, all the quarterback can really do is just kind of check it down. There's nothing you can do outside of checking it down when you get instant pressure the way the Cowboys generated last night, the way Quinnen Williams specifically generated multiple times. You're going to get a 1st and 10 play. This is early on in the second quarter. Watch how instant this win is by Williams. Going up against Dylan Parham, a guy that's in his 4th year in his NFL career, and Quinnen Williams just beats him right away at the point of attack. Again, think about this from the offensive perspective. If you're Geno Smith here, and you have a 7-step drop, and you have Quinnen Williams, and even Osa Odighizuwa literally wins right away. But think about this. I'm going to slow this down. Quarterback is going to take the ball here. He's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's a play action, and you have 2 guys literally right on top of you as a quarterback. You're not reading the wide receiver over here to the top left of your screen. You're looking at just throwing this to the running back. And again, this is kind of what's happening right now, at least in this first game against the Raiders. And again, just still keep in mind that the Raiders' offensive line is not good, right? And with that, I think that is going to allow the Cowboys to have the amount of pressures they had last night. But do also not overlook the fact that these are some superstar caliber players. Osa is one of the highest paid defensive tackles for a reason. Look at this move right here on Jordan Meredith. He's going to set up to the inside. Meredith's going to kind of follow that to the inside. And then Osa's going to, with the left arm, pull him to that same side. The right arm comes right over the top. And just like that, it's instant pressure by Osa and Quinnen Williams. It's a phenomenal rep right there to kind of force that incomplete pass. Now, after that last play, it's an incomplete pass. On the very next play, this is 2nd and 10. This play right here basically ends the drive because you're going to lose 8 yards on this Quinnen Williams sack. Now, he's going to slant to the inside. He's going to end up against Will Putnam, the center. And he's going to do a phenomenal job with the power, phenomenal job with the bull rush. And he's going to end up turning this bull rush into a rip move, just straight power. And the center here has no way to slow this down. I mean, look at this. Look at the hands, perfectly placed underneath the arms and the shoulder pad. And he kind of just lifts this guy straight up. And Will Putnam has no way to shut this down. That's a really good job right there by Quinnen. And then he gets the left hand in there to rip, and there's nowhere for the quarterback to go. And on this one, you even get some pressure from the right tackle by Sam Williams. He's going to do a pretty good job collapsing the pocket on that side. You get a little bit of pressure by the linebacker who's going to end up blitzing here. He's going to end up going up against the left guard. Just kind of shakes him. And there's just pressure from all around for the Cowboys on this one. That's a really good job right there by Williams and some of the other guys on this play. Now, obviously, everybody knows that Quinnen Williams is one of the best defense tackles in the NFL. Now, as we kind of go forward, I do want to see how the Cowboys utilize guys like Osa Odighizuwa and Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams together at the same time. You know, can you get into a 3rd and long situation and put all 3 of those guys out there at the same time? How do the Cowboys continue to use these guys as pass rushers? Kenny Clark, I think, is a pretty underrated pass rusher. But of course, on 3rd and long type of situations, Clark was the guy that kind of came off the field. On this play here, this is going to be before the first half ends up ending. Quinnen Williams, again, is going to line up over the right guard. And when you're sliding towards Osa Odighizuwa, who was wrecking havoc last night for the Cowboys, as an offensive line, what do? Right? You have to, at some point, go one-on-one against one of these 2 guys. And on this one, they slide to the left. And then Quinnen Williams just kind of destroys Jordan Meredith, gets him right back into the quarterback. And on this one here, you check down and only pick up about 3 yards. Now, I think one of the best ways to use a guy like Quinnen Williams is going to be on defensive line games with faster defensive ends, right? Not a D-tackle and D-tackle game, but an edge and defensive tackle game. And the reason why is because Quinnen Williams is fast and he's quick. And the faster you can get that edge player to come to the inside. Like on this one, as soon as you get the slant to the inside, the right guard has to commit to that. So when you put a speed guy out there and you have him twist back to the inside, for Quinnen Williams, this is an easy win right here because he already has the angle and he does a good job with the games, right? But if you have a guy that's maybe not as fast out there, it does slow it down a little bit because the guard isn't going to get off of Quinnen Williams as quick. But again, the guy does a really good job with these defensive line games. On this one, 1st and 10, right before the half, he ends up getting to the quarterback. The ball does come out, but it does count as an incompletion. Just a couple more plays that I want to look at. Also, do keep in mind, Quinnen Williams did not play in most of the 4th quarter because obviously the Cowboys had already won at that point. But just a really nice job right here by Williams to be able to kind of get out there and just at least recognize the play. You know, you are going to pull the right guard to the left, and Quinnen Williams is not going to chase that. Instead, he's going to play this to the outside of the right tackle. Now, I think this just happened to be the perfect play call for this play right here, because the entire offensive line actually slants to the right. Every single one of these guys are going to slant to the right. And I believe the Cowboys end up blitzing the safety, or maybe it's a linebacker that jumps to the backside. But with that, as they're kind of slanting to the right, Quinnen Williams slants exactly to where this play is. And you see him do a great job chasing Genty and essentially forcing him out of bounds. Overall, I really like what we saw from Quinnen Williams in last night's game. I think the Cowboys have really upgraded that defensive line. The trade of getting rid of Micah Parsons and then essentially swapping him out for Quinnen Williams, I think this works out perfectly for the Cowboys because you now have the best defensive tackle room in the NFL. And truth be told, I think defensive tackles can make more of an impact than edge players. And of course, in last night's game, Quinnen Williams had a phenomenal game. On this play here, you got a 4th and 1. He's just, half a yard late. The Raiders who technically convert. But he does a good job getting over the top as Dylan Parham initially does get to the inside. Now keep in mind, Quinnen Williams is lined up in the 1 technique. Dylan Parham does a pretty good job getting in front of Quinnen Williams, at least initially. That's a good block right there by Dylan Parham. But again, Quinnen Williams does a great job fighting through that and getting back over the top. And with that, he ends up getting in there, making the play. Again, 4th and 1, they do convert, but it's only a 2-yard gain. And this is what Quinnen Williams brings to the Dallas Cowboys, man. The guy is super explosive. He gets into the backfield and is super disruptive. And he really only played 1 play in the 4th quarter. So for the most part, he did not play most of the 4th quarter. 34 total snaps. The guy's an absolute superstar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, consider subscribing. We will be covering the Dallas Cowboys on this channel as we go forward. Thumbs up, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time with another video.